Hello everyone, this is Oluwaseun Amuda from the My Training Institute, and today we'll be talking about AWS Lambda. So the key activities here is understanding Python SDK for AWS Lambda function, and as we be going on, we're talking about hands-on project, the manual configuration, the cloud formation aspect of it. That will be in the next video though. So basically we're talking about AWS Lambda, and the programming code we'll be using is what? Python. So what's AWS Lambda? That should be the question we should be asking ourselves. What's Lambda? So Lambda is just a compute service that lets you run code without provisioning or managing server. So you don't need to manage your server. AWS runs everything for you. And this AWS Lambda executes your code only when needed and scale automatically. So it's very cost effective. So for very cost effective and very cheap. So around $0.1 per 1,000 requests. So that's it, and you get 1,000 requests for free for the first for every month. So it's very cheap. And then apart from the fact, so we need to know more about AWS Lambda is the fact that it's stateless in the sense that garbage in is garbage out. You need to feed them with information. The information we feed them is what they take, and that's what they process. So that's AWS Lambda. So what's different between Lambda and Elastic Beam Cloud, since they both perform the same function? So basically we use Lambda for backend operation, that is inside operation, and Elastic Beam stands for app operation, that's the front end aspect of it. So that's just the main difference. And so let's go. So how does Lambda work? Lambda basically is, whenever you write your code, you have it writing here. So we set up a trigger for you. So anytime probably if you're using an S3 bucket, so let's say you upload an object in your S3 bucket, it should trigger the Lambda. Or even if it's an MODB, anything you will set as a trigger. Anytime the event occurs, it triggers the Lambda function. It runs this code, and you only pay for the time it's used. So that's just how simple it is. So now, what are the codes that's acceptable in the Lambda editor? So when you talk about Java, Go, PowerShell, Node.js, CS, Python, Ruby code, all this code are compatible with what? AWS Lambda. So today we're talking about Python. Yes, that's what we're venturing into today. So and the SDK machinery that is being used is called Proto3 Python. Yeah. Now this is a look of how it looks like. So you have import JSON, def Lambda handler, and the rest like that. So that's just it. So why do we import in Python actually? Why do we import? Why do we have to import JSON? Why do we have to import other machinery? Now Python code, when you have a module and when you're having two modules in the same folder, so you can import one module into another. So whenever you need to import that machinery, you just import it. You call on it to help you. It's just like you grading, and you have a stomping block, and you have to call the bulldozer to help you out. So once it's done, you continue your grading. So that's just the way it works. So it's a machinery. So let's take a look at some examples. So take a look at this. We are having cal.py, and this is a file saved in the same folder with this. So some function have already been defined inside, and although this is a custom function. So what we will do here is that we want to import cal, instead of us saying x plus y 10 plus 12, all you just need to do is import cal. Once we import cal, it automatically import this machinery. So it imports this machinery generally, and when we say print cal.add, so it comes a cal.add is a function. So it actually add, then the output is that what it says is return x plus y, which is what 12. So that's how what import function works. So there are three main objects in Proto3 that are used to manage and interact with the AWS service. So we talk about sectioning, we talk about client, we talk about resource. So in sectioning is used to create the object, and whenever you need to work on different AWS account apart from yours, you use sectioning. So client is a low level object API, and this is a high level object API. So basically use client when you need one-on-one mapping with the API service. So all this one supports all API service basically, but this one is only high level, so not all API service have been supported. So that's just the difference between them. So let's go. I think we'll talk about the remaining when we get to the project section. So let's take a look at this problem. So your senior management have requested for the list of S3 bucket to be sent to their email box every first of the month. You have been tasked with a situation like this. So how do we go about it? Instead of you copying the files one by one, that's a little bit bulky, very, very stressful. But now Lambda has come and says, hey, don't worry, I can help you out. So how do you go about it? So what you're just going to do is, since it said every first of the month you have to create an event bridge, this event bridge triggers the Lambda every first of the month. So anytime it triggers the Lambda, also anytime it's first of the month, it triggers this Lambda. The Lambda runs the Python code you have programmed right inside to what, as then send the mail, the list of the bucket to the what, SES, that's simple image service. Send the list of the email to the what, designated what, image service. But before this can happen, you need to what, specify a role. A role has to be attached to this Lambda that allows you to have access to the what, to the mail SES service, the event bridge, the S3 itself. So we need to get the list of buckets, so it has to have full access, including the CloudWatch. So that's it, and let's take a look at how we go about the practical session. So this is the AWS console, and the first thing we are going to do is to create a role. The role is just like a key to a door key, whereby once you have it, you can access any other door. So let's create an IMI role. Should I search for it here? You click it right in here. So let's go on. So if you have the key to any door, you can open any door. So that's just the basicity of this. So you create a role, you give the Lambda the permission. It's just like the Lambda having the key, so it definitely can open any resource. But if you don't have the key, you can't break into it. It says no permission not granted. So let's create an IMI role. So what we're going to do here is we want to create a role. If you already have a role, you search for it over there. So the use case is Lambda, so we are going for Lambda. Although we have other use cases like EC2, and if you want to search for that, you can search for it right in here. So we are using Lambda. Then what are the policies do you want to attach? We want to attach S3 full access because we are getting what, bucket lists. We are getting the bucket list, so we need S3 full access. Then we need CloudWatch. We also need CloudWatch full access in order to get what, the log trail and the rest. So CloudWatch full access. So where are you? Is it CloudWatch full access? And we also need SES, simple image service full access too. So we need SES full access. So this is it. Now we click on next. So we create our role. So those three. Now what's the role name? Let's pick Oluwaseun. So going by Oluwaseun, you can decide to write the description here or not. So it's left to you. So these three. Now let's create our role. Okay, it says Oluwaseun already existed. So Oluwa. Let's go with Oluwa. Let's create our role. Okay, so it's creating a role already for us. So role created. So once we are done with it, the next thing is to go to the Lambda. So let's go to Lambda. We already have a role. Let's go over to Lambda. So what we are going to do now is we are going to create a function. So let's create a function. So click on create function. Okay. So we are starting from scratch. You can use a blueprint, or if you are using a container image, depending on what you want to use. So we are using auto from scratch. So what's the function name? So let's pick Oluwaseun, and the runtime is Lambda and Python 3.9. This one by default is what this. So we already have a row, so we are not creating a new row. So we're using a existing row, the one we already created, and we called it Oluwa, right? Yeah, Oluwa. So create a function, and okay, yeah, we are good to go. So what's left now is our code. So we have to write our code. So if you, by default, if you run this, it's going to run. So let's check it out. Let me go to Oluwa. So let's save this. Okay, so if I test this now, then it says success, that this is going to run. So definitely, if I add a trigger to this, if I add an S3 trigger to this, or any trigger or an event bridge, is going to, whenever it triggers, it's going to give me this. Yeah, it's going to give me this. It's going to say hello from Lambda. So if you want to check it in the configuration, you can check it in the CloudWatch log, and you're going to see it right in there. So okay, the monitor, so you click on monitor. So reveal CloudWatch log to see the full activities of what actually happened. Okay, it's loading. Yeah, still loading. So this recent activities performed on this log as at this time. And let's see, as you can see, it says okay, this is it. So as you can see, this is it. So that's just the recent activities performed on it. That's the trigger. So let's go back to our Lambda. So that's not what the problem actually says. The problem says we need to send an email to get stating what the bucket list. So what we are going to do is we are going to import Python. That's import the machinery, which is what Boto3. Import Boto3. So once we are done with that, then we need an S3 bucket. So we say S3 is equals to what? Boto3. Since we already was said import Boto3, so the Lambda already understand that okay, Boto3 is already listed there. So it's just like a folder. You already click into the folder. So what next is what? Boto3 dot resource. So then we need S3. We need the S3 folder right in there. So once we are done with this, we already what call the S3 function. So the next is and in terms of this return, so this by default this definition has two functions. It's either you can return or you respond. So if you just want like just give it information and let it go without saying thank you, like you want to tell a resource that do this and you don't want him to reply back to you, you use return. But if you want him to respond back to you, you use response. So that's the difference between this return and response. So let's print the bucket list. So let's say print bucket list, buckets, that's buckets.name. Okay, we haven't stated something, so we have to state that for buckets, so say for buckets in S3. So this S3, what we are stating here is this S3 dot buckets dot all. So you are saying all the old buckets, then semicolon. So if I deploy this, deploying simply means you want to save it, so it's saved, so that next time we come here it's automatically there, you don't have to start again all over. So successfully updated. So let's check it out. As you can see, it already give me what the list of the buckets. So but this is not what they asked us to do. They want us to they want us to like send a mail to them. They want us to send the list of the buckets to them through an email address and not through the what, not them coming to check it in the execution or the CloudWatch log. So it's not what we want to do. And so we have to like import another machinery. We have to call another machinery, just like the bulldozer. Whenever you meet an obstacle, you call on the bulldozer to help you bulldoze it away. So let's import the client, this client, and we say ses equals to Boto3 dot client. So ses, so we already call on this machinery already. So we already call on this machinery. So the next thing is, how does this respond to you? Because we want it to respond back to us. They know that he has already done this function already, that he has already carried out this exercise. So we go to the Boto3 documentation to get the response statement. So we just click on writing here, and then we search for S3. So we search for S3. We search for SES. Sorry, SES. So we search for SES. Then okay, we click on client. We need client. And what do we need in a client? We want to send an email. So we click on send email. Send email. Search for send email right in here. Send email. We want to send us an email. So we say send email. So this is the response. we want the response back to us, so we just copy this, or just do this, you copy this. So yeah, we'll copy it right here and then click on copy. So let's go back to AWS Lambda. So click on Control V. So that's it. So we have to edit it. So we have to edit some parameters. So we have to edit some parameters. So under the string, under the source, we having that's the verified email address. We need it. So let's go with Amuda Oluwaseun Amuda Oluwaseun. Although this email address is not verified, so we have to verify it. Otherwise, it says it will return back an error. Now, to which address are we sending this email? We can state as many as possible, but let's just go with one for now. gmail.com. Okay, so we don't need all this one. If you want to send, use it to your domain, that's when you use all this, so we don't need them for now. And under the message, what do you want to be our subject? What do you want to put as our subject? Let's say bucket list for the month. Bucket list for the month. So this bucket list for the month. Then what do you want to write in the body? I think that is very important. So the body aspect of it. So we say the following are the sorry for that. Bucket lists. For the month. So the following are the bucket list for the month. So now we have to put a format. So dot format. Which format do you want to put right in here? You know, instead of us typing everything, you say, well, bucket.net. That's how it is in bucket.net. Name. So the HTML, as we are stating the size, that's when we use this HTML. So we don't need it. So let's close it. So if I want to reply to the email address, if I want to reply a response, anytime send me this mail, so I click on this. Probably you want to move an S3 bucket from an object from an S3 bucket to another bucket. That's when you use this or for other functions. But we don't need them. So let's delete it. So we don't need them for this task. We don't need them. Okay, so let's deploy this. Okay, we don't need this. We don't need them. So let's deploy. Okay, it's still updating. Now let's test it. It's not going to work this way, but let's test it first. So it says syntax error in Modo. Okay, line 12. So let's check line 12. What happens to our line 12? Response. So let's a little bit back. Let's deploy it. So anytime you are deploying and it keeps saying syntax error. Okay, it says this was still updating. Okay, it says client is not defined. Name client. So where's client? Okay, so we just copied it direct. We already changed it to what? SES equals to Boto3. So this SES, or if instead of you stating, you can say Boto3.client into SES.send bond email. So you can just use that direct, but that's just like clumsy and make it difficult for you to understand. So that's why you are doing this way. So let's test again. Okay, it says message rejected. So let's go and verify our email address. Let's go and verify it. And how do you go about that? So let's click on the simple email service. Let's click on create identity. Let's create an identity. So we are clicking on email. We are creating an email. I want to verify our email address. So our source email was what? Oluwaseun, right? 8@gmail.com. Okay, so let's create an identity. It says what? Unverified. So let me go and check my email box. Let's check out my email box. So let's reload. So this is it. So I should verify my email. So do not spam my email box, and so it says congratulations. I also let me verify. So let's go back and reload. Let's go back and reload. So let's reload. It should say verified. It should, yeah. So let's check verified, as you can see. Okay, so let's test run it again. Let's test run it again and let's see what. So it says successful. So let's check my email box again and let's see if a message has been sent. So this is bucket list for the month. So it's only giving us the bucket list just for one of them. So no, it's not what we want to do. We want to get the bucket list for everything. So let's introduce some function. Let's say buckets. Let's introduce some buckets. So instead of writing bucket.name, let's say buckets bond lists dot append. Let's append the bucket name, bucket dot name. Okay, so let's define bucket list. Let's define bucket list right here. Bucket list equals to, yeah. So let's deploy and check it out again. Still updating. Starts already mode, there's no match. So it says doesn't match. So let's check that line. Line what? That should be line what? That should be okay. Let's check it out. So this line. Okay, so now let's deploy it again and let's see what we have to offer. So okay, succeeded. So let's check our bucket list. So it should. So let's reload. Okay, I think it's bucket list for the months. No, this is not. Is this? No, let's reload. Okay, that's it. So it's giving us the same problem. So no, it's not what we want. We wanted to give us bucket list for everything for the month. So I have more than that. So these are the number of buckets that's giving us for the last one. So where's the problem? Okay, let's separate this from this. Yeah. Oh, we didn't update this. We didn't update this to bucket list. So list. Yeah. Yeah, bucket list. So let's go with this and let's deploy again. Okay, so let's test run it. So let's go and check my email box again and let's see. As you can see, it's stating everything by now. It's stating everything. It's still the same thing. It's still the same thing. No, it's not what we want. It's not what we want. We want to give us bucket list for everything. So let's go back and check it. Okay. Which function is not defined? Let's check which function. So this is an updated one of it. So let's check that. So let's update this. Okay, so let's run it again. It should work. Let's run it again. Okay, so let's check my mailbox and let's see. Okay, so we already have the bucket list and that's how we go. So we get the code email GT or backend, and so then it wants to trigger itself. Once it's like trigger himself at the first of every month. So that's what we actually want to do. And So we don't want to print this bucket name. So let's click on let's close this, and so let's create an event. So let's do that first. Okay, I didn't talk about this lambda handler. So how do we go about this lambda handler and this lambda function? So you store the Python file is stored as lambda function, and this lambda handler, that's the def function. So your handler, now if you want to define your handler would be what the Python function you store it versus what the definition function. So you can edit it once you change that. You have to change it so it won't run. So let's go and create. Okay, let's deploy this first. Let's go and create an event trigger that will trigger the event. So let's go about that first. And that's our SES, right? SES. No, not event bridge. Event bridge. Okay, event bridge. So we want to create an event that is going to happen, that is going to trigger the lambda function. So that's what we want to do for now. And so at the first of every month, it's going to trigger itself. So let's create a row. So you click on create, then what's our row name? Let's say let's call it Oluwa. And you can start to put your description here. So you can either go for a rule event, that is maybe you want your S3 to trigger it, or you want to schedule it. So since it's every first of the month, so we can just like type it in here, every first of the month, or days of the week, anyone you want. So you just put it in here, but you are not using this, you are using, for the purpose of this practical, let's just put it in minutes, and every 1 minute. So at every 1 minute is going to trigger the lambda function. But if you want to do it, that's how you do it. So okay, let me say AWS lambda. So you can use it for any function, you can use it for your EC2 depending on what you want. So okay, so let's click on next, and let's create our rule. Okay, so the rule as well will be created. So okay, so let's go back and check our mailbox. Let's go and check our mailbox. Okay, so we already have it, as you can see. We already have a mail right in here saying this list of buckets. So that's it. So let's wait for another 1 minute and see whether it's still going to send the mailbox again. So let's go to our Lambda. So you can actually check this in the CloudWatch log. You see the activities in the CloudWatch log. So it's something you can see. You see it in the CloudWatch log, and that's why we allow full access to our CloudWatch. Monitors. So let's click on view log in CloudWatch. So it's going to show us the activities that have been carried out. Okay, and in the next video we'll be talking about how to use CloudFormation to deploy this architecture. So this is the latest one. As you can see, that's it, and we are good to go. So it's nothing more than that. It's just very, very simple. It's something very simple to do. So let's go back and check again. You should have seen, as you can see, it's already 1 minute already. You see, this is another event. So that's the way you go about it. So let's go back and delete whatever we have created. So let's delete the simple image service first, otherwise you just keep incurring costs. So let's not this. Let's go and our event bridge. So we have to delete that one first, otherwise every 1 minute it keeps sending the email address and just keep incurring costs. So rule, you click on rule, click on rule. Okay, so let's delete this. So we delete. You can disable or you can delete. So, but I want to delete it. No, I don't need it. I don't need it. So, then our email. So I can go ahead and delete this too. Let's delete this. So let's erase everything. So let me reload. I swear that has been deleted. Okay. So definitely. has been deleted, as you can see. Let's check our Lambda. So let's go back to our Lambda. Let's go back to our Lambda. Yeah, and let's delete that too. Okay. Action, you want to delete. Okay, you just type delete and it deletes. So it's just asking you that, are you sure you want to delete, and are you sure you are not a robot? So that's done. And one more thing is the fact that the IMI role, you might decide to leave it alone, or you can go ahead and delete. But the fact that it doesn't incur any cost, so you can just leave it alone. So that's all for today. And remember to subscribe for the next video so that you can receive updates. So thank you very much, and I really appreciate it. Thanks for your time. Thanks for watching.